Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm back with a new hat this time. But I just kind of wanted to talk today about family and how maybe it's not all that it's cut out to be. So, I mean, obviously, everybody's got a family, everybody comes from somewhere. Unless you're orphan, dude, I feel bad for you. Um, Probably in a worse spot than I am. But, for the most part, everybody's got their moms or dad. I know not everybody's got their dad, but, growing up throughout my life, I kind of dealt with a lot of BS with my family, and I'm pretty sure everybody does. But that being said, I didn't realize necessarily how bad it was until I actually moved away and distanced myself from them. Because a lot of times, and I'm not gonna go over all my trauma either, but I don't want to sit here and tell everybody that, it's for them to just ditch your family and to just do your own thing. But sometimes it is, because for me personally, once I started to move away more and create that distance, I noticed within myself, I seen genuine progress and how I developed as an individual, how I thought about myself, and the things I could achieve. And just another aspect of that too is when you start looking at yourself as a progress point instead of looking for outside validation from, let's say, your family or friends, things become a lot easier because you have your own expectations for yourself. You can rely on yourself more emotionally, and kind of things feel more obtainable in that sense. Uh, you know, I recently had a falling out with my family. Um, After, because say about 6 years ago, I decided, like, hey, I'm out of here. I decided to move in with my girlfriend, and things got a lot better. And then about 4 years later, come back, and I started to notice that I almost felt like I was letting myself down in a way because of the things I didn't address from the past. And when I actually went through and I tried to address these things to them, they didn't really reciprocate it very well, and they didn't want to talk about it, and that's fine. Um, I feel like in a way I'll never really get that closure in that aspect, but personally, I feel like this will be easier for me to move on myself. And I used to say that family's everything. I still think it is, but your family doesn't necessarily have to be a blood relative. They don't have to be people who, it doesn't have to be your mom or your dad. It could be, the individuals who are in your life right now who mean the most to you. And I think what's more important too is trying to focus on creating your own family. If you had a reality in your past that you didn't like, don't take that out on your kids when you grow up. Use that as a guideline on how to make sure they don't go through those same trials and tribulations. Now, I do believe there is a balance here because a lot of the things I went through, I feel like made me more headstrong, made me a better person overall. But there's a degree to which you should go down that, push your kids, be stern with them. Don't just be their friends, be their parents. But at the same time, it's important to show that love and respect, because when that aspect's missing, you're just going to leave a lot of holes and a lot of things that, were kind of left unsaid. I don't want to sit here and kind of beat around the bush here. Like I said before, not everybody's situation is bad, but if you notice yourself becoming a better person because of that distance, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe this was the better choice. And, obviously if you're, 16 or, still in the house, you don't really have much of a choice. But if you need to take that leap, then go ahead and take that leap. There's nothing that's really stopping you. And at the end of the day, you'll notice that thing in yourself if that was or wasn't a good decision. Like I said, I don't really want to get into specifics. I'll kind of like just around it, right? Obviously, not obvious, but I've dealt with a lot of abuse throughout my life. And obviously that hurt me as an individual. And all I look at that as is just a way to what not to do, basically. And how to treat my kids in a sense. Um, I guess I'm just gonna leave this a pretty short video because, like I said, I don't want to get into too many details. But if you're somebody who's also kind of gone through, similar experiences, you've noticed that your family's almost let you down in a way. I'd like to hear that as well because it's good hearing the relatability in the comment section. It's good hearing feedback from people because I feel like in a way this is kind of a community, and I feel like I'm in building a community. It's more of a belonging, and that's about it. If you're watched all the way through, I thank you for that, and I hope you have a great day.